Hey guys, welcome back to another Gun Gang video, and today I've got Max with me, I've got Martin with me, I've got Jack, and I've got Chris. This video is going to be a update slash how we felt playing at the Manchester event just gone. So, Organised Play Events held a event for Star Wars: The Shadows of the Galaxy. It hit 168 players, if I'm not wrong. I think I'm right, 168 players.
Something like that.
Something like that. And yeah, we're just going to have a quick talk about it, how we feel about the decks that attended, what we thought was going to happen, and generally how the event went. So, first of all, anyone got any additions to how they think the event was going to go before we talk about how the event did go?
I thought there would be more people than there were, to be fair, because they said it was going to be like 360 odd spaces, and then you know what? It was still a good showing though, much bigger than the previous tournaments beforehand. So
Yeah,
pretty
I think
good
it
in
was
the end.
it's the biggest tournament to date, right? Like worldwide, I think
Yeah, it's the
168 is
biggest
the
one in
big.
the world right now, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
I'm glad it didn't go to max. I didn't want to
True.
have to,
truth.
do 9
8
rounds.
rounds was
Three,
enough.
yeah, 8 rounds is enough.
Yeah,
Considering they said the event would finish like 2 hours, like before it actually
yeah.
finished. So
Mhm.
it's quite a long event.
By around 6 rounds, I was like, I want to go to bed.
Yeah, everyone's feeling. But yeah, so before the event, I thought exactly the same. I thought there was going to be like a full sold out event, which didn't really want to play 384 players. Meta wise, I had no idea what I was going against. I kind of felt I knew Sabine was going to be there and Boba. I knew that was going to be there for
Yeah.
sure. But apart from that, I wasn't too sure what I was going to
Well,
face.
on the weekend before, there was that 1K, and most people were playing Han. That was actually the biggest
Yeah,
leader there, the new Han. So I was expecting to see a lot of him, and he was the third most played, but he was almost beat out by Kira, which was kind of surprising.
yeah.
Yeah, a lot
So
of curios, and they didn't do too well either, which was surprising.
yeah, I was
Mm.
surprised by that actually because I thought the Kiras would do pretty well, but I did any Kira make the top 16? I think one or two made
I think
32, but
one did, yeah.
yeah. So
I don't know actually. I don't think so.
I'll have to have a look in a
I'll
second.
know the standings now. I think another notable exception. No, what was missing? I don't think anyone played it at all. Was Hondo. There was no
Yeah, no
Yeah.
Hunter
Hondo
Blues.
at all.
Yeah, Hondo top 8 at the Leicester event too, so why Hondo wasn't put?
There was no Kiras in
No, there
top
was
8,
no
it's true.
No.
Kiras.
Okay. Oh, oh, that was
Yeah, I think they
surprising.
had a 45% win rate overall, the Kiras.
It's like combined.
Yeah, combined.
Yeah,
That's interesting. So, talking about what we expected for the event, the breakdown for the event was 30 Sabines, 21 Bobas, 19 Hands, that's the young can, the new one, 18 Kiras, 16 Bosks, 10 Darth Vaders, which is a bit not seen, 9 Emperors, 8 Han Solos, the old Han Solo, 7 Rays, 5 Moff Tarkins, 5 Gar Saxons, and then we get into the smaller decks, as in 3 Cad Bane, 3 Iden, 2 GIs, 2 Bo-Katan, 2 Krennics, 2 Hera, which I don't think I've seen one other day, 2 Lukes, 2 Kylos, 1 Lando, 1 Mandalorian, 1 Leia, and 1 IG. The IG player went crazy, by the way. He had the same record as me, which is pretty funny. Well, yeah, what do you think about the breakdown? I think the breakdown was insane. I expected to be, but not 30 of them. You know what I mean?
I think it's fairly understandable for the first few. Apart from, I think I'm surprised there's that many Bosks. I'll be
Boss
honest.
surprised
It's
me.
like there's only one, yeah, crazy deck with him. I didn't expect 16
I
people to
I
come down
think
with
the
him.
mindset for people who were picking Bosk was more. I want to kill Sabines. I
Yep.
want to get rid of them.
Mm-hmm.
That
Yeah,
was the whole idea. Was like because we all know Bosk, especially on green, is pretty strong into Sabine.
Hmm.
Uh, but I feel like there being 16 of them was way more than I was expecting.
Oh yeah, I played
And they
2 on the
went.
day,
yeah.
and that was really surprising.
They weren't all green either. Like I seen a couple of
No,
Bosk Blues, which was
My
crazy.
first game was against a Boss Blue, yeah.
Yeah, like the Bosk Blues, and
Ooh.
I don't know if there was any other color than Bosk Blue, but Bosk Blue, I seen a few of them, and they were good as well. They weren't bad decks. I enjoyed
Yeah,
them.
very good.
Yeah, I'm surprised like someone like Palpatine didn't outnumber the
yeah.
Bosks and the
Well,
Vaders, which is
to be
surprising.
fair to the Bosk players, just looking at the top 32 in general, there was 4 Bosks in the top 32.
It's
That's
not
a
bad.
pretty good
So
showing
that's a pretty good
by
show.
Bosk.
I would say with the Emperors as well. All the Emperors went the double green Palpatine that we see. There was Palp yellow, Palp red, and Palpatine blue. So there was all
I just
variation.
did a
Yeah,
Palp
the
red.
blue did the best, I think.
My second game is a Palp red, and it was a very, very strong deck.
Yeah, my first game was a Palp red, and even though I was on Sabine, and like you go faster than him, there was like I think it was the second game. There was one point where I don't know what he did, and I was like going, okay, so this deck isn't just a run over. Shout out to that guy by the way, 'cause he actually played really well.
Yeah, I think Palpatine's showing. I like where he is in the standings of it. As we've seen, two of them made it to top 8. I had the pleasure of watching one of them. Who was on the table next to me, one of the people who made the top 8 on Palp Green. And the first round, he played Sabine, and the first round was over in about 3 minutes. The Sabine took it, and then he managed to grind the Sabine out in the next 2 games to win that round. It was something to watch. I didn't expect it. I've never seen it played like that, and it was truly a pleasure to watch.
Yeah,
Interesting. Nice in Palpatine's. I think it's a harder leader to pilot, and so it's why there's less of them usually. But it's good to see that they're still holding their weight in big tournaments.
Yeah, I think most people who play Palpatine and do well with him now are people who've been playing him since set 1, just non-stop.
Most
So,
likely, yeah.
because he's quite difficult to navigate.
but I mean, for having 168 players, there was I wouldn't say. I mean, I would probably say it's a decent spread of leaders, because I mean, I probably thought there was going to be more Sabines if I'm not. If I was thinking, probably now looking back at it,
Yeah, I
but
expected
30
more.
was
To be
alright.
fair.
I know a lot of people are also expecting to play against Sabine because a lot of people's decks are built towards the Sabine matchup, and then sideboard was their control slash mid range matchups. 10 Darth Vaders are surprising. I know you, Jack, played on Darth Vader. I
Yeah,
don't know how you felt playing at the event on Vader.
I mean, I couldn't decide what I was going to go with beforehand, to be fair. So I just said, you know what, screw it, I'm going to go fun over function. I enjoy playing Vader. It's not a particularly competitive deck, but I'm going to go and have a good time. And then I just got matched with a load of Sabines and got completely steamrolled. So,
Yeah.
but no, it was a good day. It did what it said on the tin. It gave me some fun games. So that's all I'm
Yeah.
really fussed about.
I think Vader's, again, like Jack said, is one of them leaders that's fun, but it can also do really well. Like, depending on your I mean, obviously, in Tiger matchups, it's harder, but if he goes into a control matchup or mid range matchup, he's got it. That's probably what the other 9 players, not including you, probably thought exactly the same as Darth Vader has a chance to do really well. I don't actually know what was the highest place in Vader. Does anyone actually know?
I've just checked, and the highest place in Vader was 34.
So that's
It was
pretty good.
Just out of top
definitely
30.
Just
not
out of
my
30.
Vader.
He went. The person went 5-3, and
So he's just out of 32.
yeah, it does. It looks like it does go heavily into sort of green healing and a bit of red removal. So it's no surprise what it went against or what it won against.
Mm.
But to be fair, with the comments we were saying before, what it lost to were one of the Bobas who made the top cut.
Hmm.
It lost to a Sabine Wren. It lost to another Boba, where it beat it beat 2 Kiras, 2 other Bobas, and a Kylo deck. So
Done well
it's
then.
not it did quite well.
You see, that's exactly it. I mean, at my local store, excuse me, at my local store, there's quite a lot of control players. There's a few Kira decks there, and I do stand a very good chance with my Vader deck against them. It's, I'd say, a bit more of a 50-50 flip in my way. But again, against any kind of Sabine deck, I get steamrolled straight away. Boba, I've not really tested it a whole lot against. There's not really many Boba players at my local. Kylo, again, it doesn't really struggle with because you've got the early game removal and Kylo runs out of steam. But it's Sabine. Sabine's the real issue for me.
Yeah. I mean, Vader's probably going to struggle unless he gets more support, or you just tinker your deck to do aggro, but then you're going to struggle into the rest of the other matchup. I mean, overall, as well, looking at just some of the niche decks, I mean, 1 Leia, 1 IG, 1 Mandalorian, 1 Lando. I mean, IG, this player said on the day that he's solely built his deck to just play against Sabine players, which 30 Sabine players he had a very high chance of playing against. Didn't get to see the Leia play at all. The Lando done pretty well, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, he got into the top
Yeah,
32.
so Lando made top 32. It was 2 Kylos. I had pleasure of playing one of the Kylos, which I lost to. Then you played him, Martin, and beat him right on stream.
And yeah, that was my stream game. Played against him. He was a nice guy.
Yeah, that was a Kylo ECL as well, which I haven't played against. I only played double red.
Yeah, it was like a resurrection.
Yeah, I only
deck,
played
yeah.
against double red Kylos. When I played against it, I was like, what does this actually do? And I probably just fumbled it there. 2 Lukes, which I'm probably guessing were Luke Greens, which I'm surprised I didn't see more Luke Greens. Because I know before Leicester and Manchester, there was a couple of people saying they wanted to run Luke Green because it just counters a lot of stuff in the meta, yet no one played it. There seemed to be only 2, so surprised.
I think Luke's main issue is you know, I've played him locally. Is just he gets chewed up by mid-range decks. Your Boba yellows and your Boba greens just churn it out, and I think if you're expecting quite a high number of them, you don't tend to do too well into them.
Yeah. Also, I think the representation of Bobas was mostly yellow. I think there was only 1 red, 1 blue, and that was you, Max, and you, Martin.
That was us.
If
Yeah.
the only 2
Let's go.
non-Boba yellow players were R2 representatives, which is
And of course the Boba Green that won the whole thing. I think there's a
oh
few
yeah,
more
there's a
Boba
Boba.
Greens as
Yeah,
well.
that Boba
Yeah,
Green
Boba
that
Green's
won was
split.
very interesting.
Yeah, I played against him. That was a tough one.
He's from my
Did
local
manage to
scene.
get 1 round out of him though.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, he wins everything around here. A very good player.
Moving on to how we got on at the event. Me personally, when I was 4-1 on the 5th round, which put me 32nd, and then lost my last 3 games, so I went 4-4. That was mostly due to being absolutely shattered because it was towards the end of the day, and they were just matchups where my opponents drew what they needed when they needed it, and that was that. I was playing Sabine Green, so I had to go fast, go home, but the controls either stabilized and knocked me out, or I went with the Boba Yellow game was just cut and exhaust, bounce everything. So yeah, that was me. How did you place, Max?
I went 3-5 with 1 double loss on Boba Blue. I was playing Hard Control, which I swapped to last second, thinking that I'd be up against a lot of Sabines, and looking at the meta breakdown, it's amazing that I managed to dodge all of them, and I played only mid-range control matchups, mostly blue-reds,
Yeah.
which after my first match, they would always put in triple vigilance, or if it was greens, they'd put in like triple relentless. So I feel like I got the worst matchups I could have got, but I had fun. I milled out a lot of people, and last match of the day, the guy I played against was a Vader Green, who at the end had no deck, no hand, and no board, and just scooped that. So I'll take that.
Oh, no ham, no deck, no board. Okay, what are you
Yep.
doing to people with your deck, man? That's
I was just
crazy.
milling everyone out. It was great.
How did you get on today, Martin?
I did pretty well. Got to the top 32. I had an amazing start with the 5-0, and I was feeling good. Then something happened, man, and I just struggled after that. I think I played in my 6th round against the guy who ended up winning the whole thing.
Yeah.
The first game I had the worst draws ever, and then the second game I won, and the third game that was tough. He did the choose sides on my radar to give me a Salacious Chrome. I thought that was just very rude, man. You know, can't believe he'd do that trade. And then he even killed the Chrome, man. I couldn't keep him. How rude. And
Yeah.
I ended up playing against 4 Sabines, which is a good matchup for my Boba Red that I was running.
So you've seen all the Sabines that Max wanted to get, basically.
Probably. I mean,
I can't believe it, man.
I did beat the only Sabine that made it to top 8, so, you know, that's pretty good.
That's pretty.
Nice.
How did you get on, Jack, at the event?
I don't want to talk about it, mate. Like I say, my deck wasn't the best. It was a fun deck above anything else. I did what I achieved. I had a good weekend with the boys, so yeah, that's the main thing.
That's the main thing. How about you, Chris?
Can do well in a tournament.
Yeah, I was running a one of deck like Martin. I was running Old Hand Red, and my games all day. I won one, I lost one, and so on. That's exactly how it went. I won exactly as many as I lost, and it was quite fun, to be fair. It was just a race. I also managed to go into a lot of Sabines, and I beat 3 out of 4 of them, so I can't complain.
I
It's
mean,
just
that's
a
not
very
bad.
fast, very fun deck, yeah. As soon as I went against Akira or anything mid range, I just fell apart. I just couldn't carry on. But it's something to learn for next time.
Yeah. So what most people don't know is this is our first big event as a team and as individuals. I believe no one else has done any big like TCG events, right?
Nope.
No.
Yeah. So this is everyone's like first big event, and we were going into it just like Jack mentioned before for fun and trying to just have a good weekend, and everyone came out with that experience from OPE. I mean, I personally enjoyed the weekend. I thought it was great. Will I be doing another event in the future, especially for set three? Yes. Like set three is gonna go crazy.
I
Just a
think
quick
go on.
gone. No, carry on.
I was just about to say, I said, I know me and Martin, we've done events under OPE in the past, and they're all very, very clean run, very well put together, very well organized. I don't think there was any major setup problems or anything that happened throughout the weekend, and it was just very well run, very smoothly done.
Yeah,
True, the event was very well run, and like the system for checking your games and whatnot, your standings was all worked really well, which was nice. No
yeah.
technical issues.
I think like if there was technical issues, it would have been so much worse. But the connection
Oh
and
yeah,
everything and the website held up, so everything ran fine, which is amazing.
good
And you
venue as
actually
well.
had decent Wi-Fi as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's one thing I was worried about being like a stadium. I was worried that the Wi-Fi was going to go down, especially with so many people trying to connect to their like free guest Wi-Fi. I was like, hopefully it doesn't go down, and we're going to have to like report results manually and stuff.
Yeah. I think at the same time, though, with it being a stadium and having a capacity of a few thousand, I think they're prepared for that as well. I think it was definitely a well chosen venue and
Yeah,
wasn't too far in the sticks.
a little bit out of the way, but luckily we got an Airbnb close by.
yeah, that's true.
Some of the videos we've
Some-
made in that Airbnb are going to be great when we upload
Yeah.
them.
Yeah,
That's pretty fun.
some of the videos coming out on the channel you'll see in the future. There's a 5-man twin sons, which is very interesting.
There's a
One of their
giraffe
games
twin
tends.
sons, man. I'll have you know.
There's
Giraffe twin
Go
sons,
there's a
online,
yeah.
draft twin
surely.
son.
What a great
Uh,
video.
they're going to be some interesting videos on the channel. Does 5-man twin sons work? Tune in and
Absolutely not.
find out. You will have to find out. Moving on I mean, the last point I have before I'll throw it to the floor to see if anyone else has. I really enjoyed the final. I think this has got to be one of the best finals of Star Wars Unlimited I've watched. It was between Howie, who is from Preston, and he's come down to mine, Chris's, and Martin's locals, and a few of the lads know him from there. And he was on Emperor Blue, which if the Emperor Blue won, it would have been the first Emperor to win a big event, if I'm not wrong. I think I'm right on that one. But does anyone have anything to say about the Emperor Blue? Because I looked at that deck and I thought it's built insanely well.
I
Yeah, I
just remember
think
sitting there watching the second game out of the three, and it was crazy. The lines of play, so the way he dealt with what the boat was doing after the sideboard, and it was just fantastic to watch. It probably is the best game of Star Wars Unlimited I've seen.
Yeah. The second game especially, so Boba had 0 damage on base, Howie was on 28, and then Howie stabilized and then won that game. Like it was the most insane comeback I've ever seen in a game. A lot of people would have just went, all right, scoop, but he found the line, made it work, and held his own. Sadly, he lost in the finals, but it was insane to watch the games. I mean, his opponent, Josh, was playing the Boba Green list. That when I looked at it, I thought, okay, it's a Boba Green list, but the way he played it made it look like it was just an absolute monster. The way he was like using Vader to like look through what he needed to get, and then Cod Vamp was also looking through the deck. McClunky and Bazine, and it was insanely well played. Choose Sides was a card that Martin mentioned before. Like going into the event, I don't think anyone was thinking, "Oh, Choose Sides would be like a really good card." He made Choose Sides work every time, and it was insane to watch.
this guy comes to my locals, and I got to see this deck probably about a month ago, because he's just been running it all set, to be honest. He knew quite early on he wanted to play this, and I think it's changed since I saw it, because I don't remember seeing a lot of these cards, but maybe that's just because I wasn't watching his games actively.
Mm.
But I like to think that he had a McClunky from watching me use it in my purple blue deck. So
So you're saying that you were the reason he had the McClunky? Is that what you're saying?
he probably saw my games, watched me winning,
Yeah.
and like, yeah, man,
We have to
McClunky's
try
got
and
me in there.
interview him and go, "What's the reason you put McClunky in?" And if he doesn't say, "Oh, because Max played it," then you can't. Your claim to fame's not there.
I don't think we've ever actually spoken, so that's not gonna happen.
Nice.
Okay, so your claim to fame might not actually be real.
I don't. I remember asking about the deck. To be fair, I had a winner box and curious about his decisions in it.
How did you feel, Martin, playing into this deck? Because I know you played it on stream, didn't you? You lost 2-1 to it, but you took a game off him. So how did it feel actually playing into the winner of the whole event?
It was pretty oppressive a lot of the time. I think the key card for him, though, is definitely that overwhelming barrage. It just destroys my deck in particular. But I don't know. It's just the Boba Green whole package is just so strong. Plus all the extra stuff that you get from like the set 2, the jetpack and the Boba armor, even the hotshot blaster. Just all these upgrades I just didn't really have an answer for. It's just a very strong deck. It was interesting to see that he has 54 cards in the main deck. But yeah, I don't know. These are just all cards that it's just generic good stuff. There's a reason they're all good. Apart from the sideboard, there's a few, choose sides. It's like a bit of a rogue card. Other than that,
Did he have any way to stop you in space apart from other space units, or was it simply just trying to rush you on the ground?
it was mostly just McClunky and Overwhelming Barrage that kept messing with me.
Right.
Yeah, his space units, you can see from his deck online, it's just a Fire Spray and a TIE Defender, really. That's his main things. He doesn't have ECL, which is interesting, which means, a lot of the time I struggle to 7 Fleet Defender ECL to kill my stuff, but he didn't really have that, which I found was interesting. But yeah, he had enough answers already, so
Yeah, I think this Josh guy played well over the weekend. I mean, he went 11-0, which is the only person that didn't drop a single best of 3 series in the whole event. So props to him. Congratulations on your win. The deck's crazy.
Man played so well.
Yeah, like Chris was saying before, that just watching that finals was the best finals I've seen for Star Wars Unlimited worldwide, not just the UK, worldwide. That was by far the best game.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I would implore you, if you can find it anywhere as a replay, go and watch it. If you like this game, your mind will be blown. It was just incredible to watch.
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree. If you can go and find the highlight of it on YouTube, or you can go and watch Organized Play's official channel and just go to the VODs and watch it there, it is 100% worth watching. Especially if you're new to the game, you're a current player to the game, or you just like Star Wars Unlimited, watch the game. You will find something, and that game is great. Overall, the event was amazing. OP done a great event, and like I said, I enjoyed the event. I placed 4 and 4. Will I be going to more? Yes. Will the team be going to more? Yes. Will we be trying to get videos on next events? Hopefully. It was pretty hard this event because there's just so many people. You can't really set up a camera and stuff and go, "Can I record this game?" While there's another 168 players.
For not even that man playing, best of 3s from 9 a.m. till 6 p.m. is pretty tiring.
That's pretty
I'm
tiring.
knack if I got back.
And if like your deck, for example, Max, like you were going to time, so you literally had like a
Oh,
5-minute toilet break, and then you had to go straight into your next round. So
Well,
was literally there was no time to settle benefit.
Not even 5 minutes. I had the minute between the rounds ending, then the round brackets being sorted to do stuff, because all my games were my first games were always about 25 to 30 minutes, and a 55-minute best of 3. So
I think that's a skill issue, man. I played Red Blue, and after the third game, my games were over in 15 minutes. You know, I had plenty of time to wander around the convention and watch a lot of games.
I was gonna say you came to me a few times. It's just like you'd finish and like I had just about finished the first
I think
game.
you were on
half the
about.
time.
I think I come to you once, and you were on about 8 resources, and I'd played the 2 games and won. And you were
I
like,
say
"You finished?" I was like, "Yeah."
I was usually getting to 12 resources just to do bounty hunter crew into vigilance over and over again. And like that's where most of my games ended, where I was just recycling vigilance to mill people out. So my advice to anyone going to tournaments who likes control but doesn't want to put too much effort into them, don't play control. Play something a bit faster.
Or play a deck that you enjoy. A lot of people at the
Yeah.
tournament were taking decks that they just solely enjoy playing, and because they've been playing them non-stop and they know matchups well, it actually favoured for them really well, and they placed quite high. Whereas people that were trying to play so-called meta decks who didn't get enough time to practice them but just picked them up, maybe didn't place as high as they wanted to place. So always choose what you want to play over what you think other people want you to play, in a sense.
You should probably check as well just beforehand how many rounds the tournament is, because if it's less than about 5, you can probably say that you can run whatever control deck or whatever you want. But if it's going to be more than 5 rounds, you probably want to think about the brain drain on it.
Yeah.
How many games can you cope with if you
So
play
in my
a
last
deck?
game, or the first game of my last round, me and the guy, after we finished our first game, we both had to like confirm we were on our first game because it felt so long at the end of the day.
Well, yeah,
I had that
all
for
in
a few
all,
rounds.
that was a good event. Everyone enjoyed it. Has anyone got any final words on the organised play event in Manchester?
It's
All I
taught
would
me a
say-
very important lesson.
What's the very important lesson, Jack?
Big events don't go fun over function.
That's good. That's true. That is true. No fun. Only play meta decks. Anyone else got any final words?
Yeah. What I'd say is that if one happens to be close to you, or within like a reasonable distance, I'd say go to one, because you do locals, you do winner boxes, whatever. You get like 30 people show up at most, and you're like, oh, wow, this is mental. And then you go to a room with nearly 200 people in. It's just a different kettle of fish altogether.
Yeah, I agree with Chris. I think if you, like you said, if you're close to one or you can get to one fairly easy, go to one, because not only do you get to play against so many new people, you'll meet so many new people, you'll make friends for a game that you might not think you would have made, and you never know, you might see them at future tournaments. I met a lot of people there from store showdowns from set 1 that I haven't seen since the store showdowns in set 1, so I was talking to them at the event and stuff, and I met new people there. I met Mark from Unlimited Power. That was pretty fun. So you always meet new people at events, so if you can get to one, I'll definitely say try and get your way down to one of these events.
I'd say for me, actually, those were the most fun games I've been able to play in person. As it was very competitive, but everyone was very chilled out as well, just having fun. It was also just a good time all around.
Yeah. Any last words, Martin?
Yeah, I was going to say shout out to Sam Shortman. He gave us a shout out in his deck tech that they recorded for the OPE YouTube channel. So, that's our boy right there, man. He got 6th place. Let's go.
True.
That is true, yeah. Sam finished 6th out of the 168 people that attended the organised play, and we did give us a shout out on his deck tech.
Yeah,
That's
unlike
true.
me, I forgot to give a shout out. Instead, I gave a shout out to the person who helped me make the deck. But hey, don't worry about it.
Yeah, Martin's contract's up in a week anyway, so it's fine.
Yeah. I get worked to death here at this group. You see, I'm leaving for Clone Crew, I think. So.
Hold up, hey.
That's it. See ya.
That's it. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. And if you're feeling interested, hit the bell icon so you stay up to date with all of our videos.